Before we get started, let me take a moment to play this clip of what Whoopi Goldberg had to say about reparations and Black America.
You're worried that Black people want reparations. We have American reparations. It started with 20 acres and a mule. There's more to do. People who have
never got it.
No, we did get it. That's how my family got Florida
Y'all got 40
land.
acres and a mule because we didn't get none.
Well, you didn't do it. My people. Well, maybe that's because your people didn't come and sit on the front and say we're not moving until you give us what we're owed.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, you know. But they weren't really looking for you, but they were looking for my folks, and my folks got it. And that's because that was what was promised. We pay reparations to many different groups in this country and have. And the idea that you would want us to pretend that we don't owe some folks something is ridiculous. We'll be right back.
This woman is a liar. This woman literally grew up in the project housing of New York City. To be exact, Whoopi Goldberg is from Chelsea Elliott houses, yet she expects you to believe her family received 40 acres and a mule, a reparations program which was repealed just as quickly as it was enacted. First off, one reason that we know that she's lying is because the moment she spewed that lie out of her mouth and attempted to elaborate on it, immediately ABC cut to commercial break. You heard the music come on instantly because ABC knew that this was not going to go well if we allow her to keep spewing this lie. So let's hurry up and cut to commercial break and move on to the next segment because we don't need this ish storm coming our way because of whatever foolishness is coming out of her mouth today. But secondly, concerning how her family received reparations, she changed her story twice within a matter of 30 seconds. When she was asked how did her family get 40 acres and a mule, she responded by saying, well, your family and apparently the rest of Black American families did not do what her family did. And then in a very fumbly bumbly fashion, she sat up there and literally stated, and I quote, maybe it's because your people didn't come and sit on the front and we were not moving until we got what we were owed. First off, where did her family sit on the front of to get 40 acres and a mule? We sat on the front? What front did they sit on? But then, like I said, within a matter of 30 seconds, she switched up and said, and I quote, well, you know, they weren't really looking for you, but they were looking for us. What? Wait, so did her family sit on the front? Or did they come looking for her? Which one is it? You see, this is the type of foolish mainstream representation that Black Americans have to put up with, and then we all wonder why nothing of consequence ever actually gets done on a political front for Black Americans. Well, there's a multitude of reasons for why nothing actually gets done, but one of the main reasons is that as it pertains to mass media and or mainstream media, their representation is trash. Their representation is that of individuals who on a daily basis have access to literally millions of Americans, and with that access, what they do is open their mouths to speak the kind of foolishness that you just heard, spewing the lie that Black Americans already received reparations by way of 40 acres and a mule when everyone knows it is a historical fact that goes unquestioned that the 40 acres and a mule program was repealed just as quickly as it was enacted. What I'm reading from right now is the second paragraph of the Wikipedia article written about 40 acres and a mule. And in the second paragraph, it reads as such: some land redistribution occurred under military jurisdiction during the war and for a brief period thereafter. However, federal and state policy during the Reconstruction era emphasized wage labor, not land ownership for Black people. almost all land allocated during the war was restored to its pre-war white owners. I'm going to read that again. Almost all land allocated during the war was restored to its pre-war white owners. Now, either that's a fact or it isn't. And I'm saying that for those who like to pick and choose when Wikipedia is credible and when it isn't credible. If you're going to tell me that what I just read isn't credible, well, then now the burden of proof is on you to prove that what I just read was a lie. And if you can't do that, then I'm going to need you to be quiet. Because the reality is this: we all know that Black American descendants of slavery never received their 40 acres and a mule. Let me give you one quick example of what Whoopi just did. What Whoopi is saying is the equivalent to the Reparations Task Force, which is happening here in California, becoming successful for a brief moment at being able to put in place a reparations program to which a handful of Black Americans who qualify, for the sake of argument, will say, I don't know, 100 Black Americans actually got their reparations. But then the program was quickly overturned by the California Supreme Court. Now imagine after that happening, one of the families who received their reparations payment right before the program was overturned then gets on national television and says Black Americans got their reparations already. No, you got yours, and then it was overturned while the other thousands of Black Americans who qualified didn't get theirs. But because you are wildly selfish and wicked, might I add, you're sitting up here and disingenuously stating that Black Americans already received their reparations in California. That would be a lie, and it's a lie rooted in selfishness and stupidity. And that is exactly what you heard coming out of the mouth of Whoopi Goldberg. And that is exactly why the moment she attempted to expound on that lie that she stated, ABC immediately cut to break. When you make a nonsense statement like that publicly in front of millions of people, you should be forced to have to prove that, because you can't sit there and say your family received 40 acres and a mule, yet you grew up in the projects of New York City. I'm going to need Whoopi Goldberg to prove that statement that she made, because you can't switch up the story twice within a matter of 30 seconds. Did her family sit, quote, on the front, or did they come looking for her? Which one is it, Whoopi? Which one is it? And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. And also, please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as an insurance plan for myself. So in case YouTube ever gives me the axe, I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but certainly not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those of you who have issues with joining Patreon, you can also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you haven't already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.